Life is trying to teach you something which you failed to learn in the past. By learning something, what life is trying to teach us, we will again go back to normal. So this is a learning process. Rather saying new normal, this is called a new learning. Your IQ is decided by EQ. That's what the latest research is saying. But our Vedas have already confirmed your EQ is not possible to achieve without taking consistent effort and awareness towards to maintain the SQ, spiritual quotient. What do you mean by future? The change that I want to see. And what is the change that you want to see? A positive change that you want to see. And to see the positive change, the first thing that we need to genuinely do is stay positive within your own self. See, this very word is beautiful and also little not acceptable. New normal. Tell me what we can change in the nature. I'm putting a word called nature. There is no such thing called new nature. For that reason, I am not ready to accept the word that they are saying as new normal. What has changed in the nature? A kidney remains as kidney. A lungs is remaining as lungs. Heart is still doing the same function. Nothing has changed because nothing can ever change. That is called nature. But when something is under human control, the external setup, we think we can change it. And by the time we change it, or we are making a new arrangement which was once not, practiced by us, we are using a word called new normal. No, don't do that. We should never do that. We should educate people to use the word, it is abnormal. Because when you accept this situation as a normal or as a new normal, we are insulting our own self to continue with the same condition. No. As of now, we are facing something which we have not faced before, or previously we have never experienced this kind of a situation. It is unprecedented. It is totally unexpected and totally, uncertain. But that doesn't mean that we need to accept it. Never do that. Then that is insulting our own self. In fact, insulting the Creator. In the entire creation, God has given us the intelligence not only to experience God, but to create an experience that we want to experience. That is called destiny. So if you want a new future, first start saying, this is not new normal, this is abnormal. But by learning something, what life is trying to teach us, we will again go back to normal. So this is a learning process. Rather saying new normal, this is called a new learning. We are so adamant that I will not learn, and we want to use the word I will not learn, I will stuck with the same situation, I will continue with the same discomfort, so that I will put the word called new normal, and we are insulting the entire humanity to say that we don't have the ability to change the situation to the normal. So it's called a new learning. Life is trying to teach you something which you failed to learn in the past. When we had all the power and all the ability, rather focusing in life, we are focusing in mundane things. That is what it is trying to teach us. And once we are ready to learn what life is trying to teach us, you know what will happen? A magical understanding will happen to you about your own self. This will make you realize you are more powerful than what you thought about your own self. This is not going to make you to do any extra effort. This will make you realize you are already blessed with the power, but we are not aware about the power which is already given to us. You will personally realize we are more powerful than what we thought. Since we are resisting to realize this, we think the situation we are facing is more, tough to handle, or it's a challenge. Challenge is good, but this is not even a challenge. It is very evident. This is a temporary adjustment which is done to prevent from a, permanent damage. A small temporary adjustment. It's like, see, there is a proning position. What is a proning position? When somebody is already breathing well, when somebody, the SpO2 level is above 95 or 96, they don't need a proning position. So when we found someone, or after we check for the SpO2, the level of SpO2 is somewhere around 90 or 91, immediately a little adjustment in the body posture. That is what proning is all about, right? We will talk in step-by-step procedure. A small adjustment or a temporary adjustment. See, temporary adjustment for preventing from the permanent damage and for the future success. So presently I see, due to certain condition internally, the SpO2 level is somewhere 91 or below 93. So immediately I make some small alteration in the body position so that the oxygenation is achieved. How? In certain position, the same lung which is not having the capacity to get full oxygenation, there is a small shift, small fine tuning. The lung capacity is increased immediately and oxygenation required is achieved. So once you reach that stage, slowly you do what you are supposed to do so that even in normal position, you achieve the same lung capacity or give yourself the oxygenation that is required. This is what is happening. And above all, this is time to realize not just going back to the cubicles or going back to the cafeteria is important. Are we going to go back with the same happiness that we had earlier? For that, people are focusing only on physical immunity. That is achieved instantly. But without an emotional immunity, you cannot achieve a positive mentality. Without achieving a positive mentality, you cannot sustain the existing physical immunity or physical wellness or well-being, whatever you want to name it. Because every changes in the physiology doesn't need to disturb the psychology. But every small change that is happening in the psychology will immediately and instantly disturb the physiology. You may have the best of the best knowledge. We may be scholars in many things. We may hold a PhD or a decade of experience in a field or expert in a field. But when it's come for unexpected situation, we are not okay to accept it. Either constant worries about the past or anxiety about the future and no peace in the present. For that, what is required is emotional immunity. Your IQ is decided by EQ. That's what the latest research is saying. But our Vedas have already confirmed your EQ is not possible to achieve without taking consistent effort and awareness towards to maintain the SQ, spiritual quotient. This is where the silence of the mind is required. If you need a real solution, one has to understand we need to gift ourselves to regain the lost ability. The first and foremost thing is this body needs this four fundamental things. Darkness, presently what we suffer is darkness deprived brain, silence deprived mind, and loving and caring physical touch deprived physical body, and finally a sleep deprived soul. In spite of the situation, you can give this four to your own self. Every day we all need to take a conscious commitment to give ourselves 1 hour of silence, not sleep. 1 hour of conscious silence without using any device. First, regain and retain the existing strength of the brain. Because what is important to bring the change? Because I don't see it as a new future. New future means new experience. So I don't see it as a new future, I see it as a better future. Because a new future can be bad or can be good. Since we are trying to create a new future in this present situation, what is important is to achieve the right foundation first. If you want to raise a twin tower, I can't build with the same foundation that I built a 2-story building. The strong foundation is laid only with this four quality. You should give that, darkness to your brain. That's the reason even to all my students, I say it is very easy to be a yoga master, but you should train yourself with the master of yoga. For that, first this body is fixed. That's the reason there is no new normal for the body. There is only a fixed nature for the body. So make sure there is no darkness deprived brain, silence deprived mind. And what is the third one? Loving and caring touch deprived physical body. Go and touch your children, touch your parent, touch your spouse, not for sex, but for emotional immunity. For corona, we are negative, but as a family, we are positive. Start sharing this mantra. And finally, sleep deprived soul. So if you want to create a better future as your new future, this has to happen. What do you mean by future? The change that I want to see. And what is the change that you want to see? A positive change that you want to see. And to see the positive change, the first thing that we need to genuinely do is stay positive within your own self. Stop insulting your own self. Start practicing self-compassion. You're good in being, talking good about others all the time. In the present world, start forgiveness, be thankful to God. I'm really not okay with all. These are all just, empty words, really empty words. Are you capable to forgive yourself first? There is no human who is totally perfect. You all are here to learn from the mistake and grow. If you've done a mistake, nothing to bother. Don't repeat the mistake. But do you have the capacity to live a life of self-forgiveness? Start doing that. If you fail to do that, you will live a life of guilt. With guilt, no matter how much ever intelligence we possess, we cannot create a positive future. So you should practice being positive towards your own self. For that, start practicing self-forgiveness. And everything will change. This is the first step we need to do. Then we'll go back to the previous condition or what we enjoyed before this pandemic. More better than before. More better than before. 100% it's possible. 200% it's possible. But we need to commit to make this change to our own self. Then the change will automatically happen. Nobody can resist it. Nobody can resist it. Aham Brahmasmi.